And today's lecture is themed Mentorship, Engineering Growth, Leadership, and Legacy. This is a very interesting topic because I'll say those things as time goes on. So, they say education opens doors, but mentorship is the one that, it teaches us which of the doors to walk through, and um, how to remain standing when a particular door becomes very difficult to open. So it is mentorship that, helps us to remain standing, to be resilient, when we're knocking those doors. So this evening promises to be very insightful as we learn from accomplished professionals, who have traveled the path many of us aspire to follow. I'm particularly excited for the students and masters because this is very, very important, very key to bridging the gap between where you are now and where you want to be in the nearest future. So mentorship is very key. My name is Claudius Odeyemi, and I have the privilege of serving as your moderator, this evening for this evening's program. Thank you everyone for joining. So let's keep joining. So as you're joining, please keep dropping. Okay, this is where I'm joining from. I'm joining from Oklahoma. I'm joining from Spain. Just drop it in the chat box and so that we can know where you're joining from. Now, I want to specially welcome our distinguished guest speaker again, Mr. Ayodele Awe, our special guest of honor, Dr. Ndidi Ofole, our guest of honor, Professor B.O. Olugasa, our chairman, Engineer Wale Adediran, and our esteemed host, Professor V.O. Oladokun. Distinguished professors, professors and masters, you are welcome, sir. Sir and Mass, alumni, students, and friends of IPE Alumni Association. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. And very shortly now, I think it's time for us to have, our chairperson's opening remark. And that's in the person of Engineer Wale Adediran. So I'm going to release the floor to Engineer Wale Adediran now to deliver his opening remark. The floor is yours, sir, Engineer Wale Adediran. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, our amiable moderator. It's a privilege indeed to be part of this impactful gathering. I'm excited to learn from our dear Professor Oladokun that we've been doing this for 45 runs already. So this is the 46th. I think the department and the faculty deserves a huge applause for that, because this goes beyond the core role of the department and the faculty. It goes to show how much our faculty and our departments desire to equip all our products with the skills they need to excel in life. So congratulations to our dear HOD, congratulations to the faculty, congratulations to all those who have made it possible, and the array of superstars that we have produced who had spoken to us over the last 45 series, and those that have been special guests of honor, convinces me that we have a huge network that can complement the efforts of our scholars to elevate our university and our nation to great heights. So I'm optimistic that what our engineer Ayodele Awe will be sharing with us today will take the notch higher and drive us closer to that position where the University of Ibadan, truly the first and the best, will make the trailblazer, impact again, not only on the community where we impact with influences and products, but also our graduates all over the world. So I'm excited and I'm happy, especially for the topic that we'll be dealing with today. We have the Dean of Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, who has many sides to his impact in life. And I'm glad he's associated with the faculty, not only by marriage, but also by experience. So if you want to understand engineering, veterinary medicine, this is the resource to go to. So I'm glad we have this caliber of scholars and leaders who have joined us for this session. And for the topic that we're talking about today, mentorship, is very, very close to my heart. I'm actually a resource person for this very, very important life skill. And I'm glad that I'm here today because I will learn a lot from my dear friend and colleague, Engineer We. So congratulations to you, students, for being here. I wish we had this in the 80s when we were in school, but we didn't lose anything because informally it was done by our teachers. So our teachers have now elevated it to a new level for you. You are fortunate, you are blessed. And I really want you to key into this and learn a lot. Not only that, make sure you find your mentors. I'm blessed to have mentors and I have mentees as well. And I've seen mentorship work in real life. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to our faculty, to our dean. Congratulations to our HOD and to all our special guests that are here today. Congratulations to Engineer We. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that inspiring and thought-provoking remark. We sincerely appreciate your leadership and words of encouragement. Thank you so much, sir. Without wasting much time, I would like us to also welcome our chairpersons, our special guest of honor, Goodwill Message. It's my singular honor to welcome Dr. Ndidi Foley for our Goodwill Message. You're welcome, and the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The head of Department of Vet Medicine, our distinguished lecturer for today, and all the students that are present, all the alumni. I'm very honored. I count myself very lucky to be among you this evening. Let me start on a note of apology. Our light just went off and I didn't, because it's my time to speak, I wanted just to speak so that I don't interrupt the section for an alternative source of electricity. I bring you goodwill message from the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kayode Adebawale, MNI, FAS. He's very, very impressed with the Faculty of Vet Medicine, with your faculty and the Department of Industrial Engineering and Reproduction. On several occasions, he has cited what you do. He has given instances of your success stories, because for you to have done this series to the 46th edition is not a mean achievement. The topic you chose for this presentation is what why, because there's an observation that UI has thrived in so many areas, but we have not been able to adopt a model of mentor-mentee relationship. And that is not to say that we have not tried in the past. Severally, we have experimented with different methods, but none has really worked out. So that is why this particular topic chosen for this lecture series is really worthwhile, especially this period that there are many mentors there, and many of them are not even willing to provide the leadership. I'm sure at the end of this presentation, it will give insight into how to get it right. And I want to encourage the students who are here to present themselves, to be mentorable, to subject themselves to a mentee, a mentor, so that in the end they can actually actualize. Now, permit me to briefly talk about UI Office of Alumni Relationship. This office was established in 2022. The pioneer director was Professor Peter Olapegba, the current DVC administration. Thereafter, we have Professor Olashope Kumbi. I'm the third director of the alumni. And what you are doing, you have made our work a much more easier, because this is what we are clamoring, that other faculties, other departments, they should commence an activities like this to engage their alumni so that they can come holistically to support the university. It is not, University of Ibadan is not only asking for material benefit, but the issue of linking people to a mentee is a very germane aspect. So on that note, I want to congratulate you, the organizers, the head of the department, who has been consistent. He has been updating me, Professor Victor Laduku. He has been giving me all the updates. And I want to apologize once again, because yesterday I was to join, but to have a very heavy downpour, which couldn't allow me to get to a reasonable point to join. So on that note, I want to say congratulations, and I want us to enjoy the lectures and go home with whatever we have achieved. Thank you, and God bless.
Amen. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for that. That is our special guest of honor, and she's the director, Office of Alumni Relations, University of Ibadan, Dr. Ndidi Foley. Thank you, Ma, for that. We appreciate you. And next, yes, thank you, Ma. Next now is our guest of honor, who is the Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Ibadan, Professor B.O. Olugasa. We are so delighted to have you, sir. You have the floor, sir, our guest of honor.
Maybe you go to the next one. I'm not sure it's yet in the house.
Oh, okay. I saw him before, sir. Maybe next one. Okay. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, while we wait for our guest of honor, so we have now arrived at the highlights, of today's program, and our guest speaker is an accomplished, supply chain professional, whose wealth of industry experience it spans across leadership, operational excellence, and talent development. And today's topic, could not have found a better voice, than our guest speaker. So before it takes the stage, we shall have the citation of the guest speaker, and that will be delivered by Engineer Fumi Adegbeson. So I'm very sure that every one of us are, very, what's the word now? We are pumped for tonight. So very quickly, Engineer Fumi Adegbeson, please, you have the floor for the citation of the guest speaker.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry where I am. I'm inside the car, so you might not. Maybe I should just remove the video so that you can just hear me well. At least. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Sazama. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, ma, we can hear you, ma.
Good evening.
Oh,
you are welcome.
Thank you, ma. Permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. I want to say that it is with my distinct pleasure and privilege to introduce our guest speaker, Ayodele Awe, an accomplished supply chain and procurement profession and a proud alumna of this esteemed department. Mr. Awe earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial and Production Engineering from the University of Ibadan, where he studied between 1997 and 2002. Since graduating, he has built an impressive career spanning over 17 years in supply chain management and procurement across leading multinational organizations in the fast-moving consumer goods and food manufacturing sector. He began his professional journey with Nestle Nigeria, where he held a series of progressively responsible positions, including industrial performance assistant, operational buyer, material requirement planner, inbound operation coordinator, procurement coordinator, and strategic buyer. Through this role, he developed extensively expertise in material planning, supply relationship management, procurement operation, and supply chain optimization. His contribution at Nestle includes initiatives that significantly enhance operation performance through continuous improvement projects, improved warehouse inventory accuracy, optimized raw and packaging material stock cover, reduced working capital requirements, and consistent delivered procurement savings and cost avoidance. Ayodele later joined Pladis Nigeria as procurement manager, where he led end-to-end sourcing strategies, supply negotiations, and procurement transformation initiatives. During his tenure, he achieved annual cost saving equivalent to 10% of total annual spend, strengthened supply performance management system, and enhanced supply chain resilience. Through supply diversification strategy, he also served with distinctions as esteemed head of procurement for 8 months and championed the digitization of procurement processes and their integration into the company enterprise resource planning system. Currently, Ayodele serves as procurement specialist contractor with Mercor AI Incorporated, applying his extensive industrial experience to support AI augmented procurement systems. In his role, he validates AI-generated sourcing outputs and contributes to the development of more effective procurement workflow that combine human expertise with emerging technology. He also maintains hands-on operational experience within logistics and warehouse in leading UK retail company. His area of expertise includes strategic sourcing and category management, supply negotiation and contract management, material requirements planning, inventory optimization, enterprise resource planning systems such as SAP and Oracle GP Edwards, supply chain analytics, procurement transformation, and integration of artificial intelligence into procurement processes. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Ayodele is a devoted family man, happily married and a proud father of 3 children. He's an avid reader and enjoys both watching and participating in sports, with a particular passion for football. He currently resides in the city of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Mr. Awe's career journey exemplifies the versatility and relevance of industrial and production engineering in addressing real-world challenges across global supply chains. His professional experience demonstrates how a strong engineering foundation can evolve into impactful leadership in procurement, operations, and digital transformation. Today, we are privileged to welcome not only a seasoned industry professional, but also one of our own distinguished alumnus, whose achievements continue to inspire the next generation of industrial and production engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming Ayodele Awe. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the excellent citation. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor and privilege to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Ayodele Awe, to deliver today's alumni lecture. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir. I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes, we can.
Once again, good evening, everyone. I want to specially thank our special guest of honor, Dr. Ndidi Ofole, guest of honor, Professor Bio Olugasa, Chairman, Engineer Wale Adediran, our HOD, Professor Bio Oladokun, my able moderator, Claudius Odeyemi, and Engineer Fumi, as well as all the dignitaries, members of the academia that are present, students of industrial and production engineering, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have to be in front of you today for this very important topic. I would like to share my screen now. Please confirm if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
We can.
Oh, thank you.
We can see.
Okay. Yes, mentorship. Interestingly, a lot of things has been said on mentorship over the years. And when I listened to the comments of our special guest of honor and our guest of honor, our chairman, I could see that one thing is very clear. Mentorship is inevitable, is the way to go. So in today's lecture, we want to talk about mentorship, the process, what are the challenges, why mentorship matters, and how it can be a catalyst for growth and career development. We are also going to look at industrial engineering principles that apply that could help in the design of an effective mentorship program. And we'll conclude with some stories, real-life stories, showing the practicality of mentorship, as well as some practical frameworks that can make mentorship a success. At the end of the day, we would be able to see how each one of us can support the mentorship process and the huge benefits that comes as a result of it. I want us to start with this picture. The truth is that no one achieves success entirely on his or her own. Behind every great leader, you have almost a mentor or someone that has served the role of a mentor, even if he's not called a mentor. And this is a person that sees your potential even before it goes viral, before everybody sees it. Now, to quickly illustrate why mentorship is important, you would notice in this picture, you have the young man in green top, while you also have some young ladies and men also in the same picture, but they are below. Now, if you consider what the door at the right as the door to opportunities, as the end result, the goal that we want to achieve, our destination, it would not take a lot of guess or a lot of brain work to determine who will get there first. It's obviously the guy who is on that bridge and having someone who is pointing to the direction to go. That is the benefit of mentorship. We could have the option of navigating life challenges on our own while we try to get to our destination. We could also have the option of looking for someone who has already walked that path, leaning on him, relying on his guidance to show us the way. And of course, that will make it faster and better for us. Having said that, why is it that engineering students struggle to transition from their state as students to industry giants? There are three reasons that we'll highlight here. One is limited industry exposure. You have theoretical foundation based on the lectures, the exams, and the tests that you have passed through that has helped you to understand key concepts. But this is different from the real industry environment. As in the real industry environment, nobody is giving you such exams. It is now solving problems, real practical application. So sometimes it's difficult for these students to be able to understand how what they have learned in the class would help them to solve problems in the real life, or to be able to get to the top echelon in their careers, in their intended careers. Another challenge is unclear career pathways. Without clear direction, it is difficult to align academic learning with career goals, because you just wonder, these things I'm learning, where exactly do they sit in the real life world? And the third major challenge is the need for practical insight. Learning is one thing, application of what is learned is another. So it's important that someone or something helps the student to transition from classroom concepts to industry expectations. And that is where mentorship comes in. Mentorship bridges the gap by first helping with real-world application, connecting classroom knowledge with the real deal, helping the student to see how the theoretical concepts translate into practical tasks and challenges in the industry environment. Mentorship also provides a career direction, because mentors will help mentees to know what are the opportunities that are available and the pathways that will help them to get there. Then another thing that mentees or students will have challenge with is how to confidently make decisions. This is not learned in the textbook, but with mentors being there at their back, they can learn to make informed professional choices in real situations. So mentors provide that bridge that connects what is learned in class to a successful career in the industry or in the workplace, in the work setting. Now, it's important to ask ourselves, what exactly is mentorship? Many literature has dealt with this, but I would go with this simple definition: a developmental relationship where an experienced person who is the mentor guides another who is the mentee. Mentorship accelerates learning and confidence, career growth, using guidance, accountability, trust, and empathy. A mentor is someone who already sees your potential by moving close to you before others would notice it, and it will guide you so that that potential could be visible to others. It's the one that sees where your weaknesses are, helps you to work to see how those weaknesses can be improved upon, and they could eventually translate to strengths. So, in short, mentors provide a shortcut to wisdom. They have been there before. They have passed through the same challenges that you are now looking at as insurmountable. So if you move close to them, they will be able to point to you where to go. They are falling into some mistakes before, and they wouldn't want you to fall on the same, to fall victim to the same mistakes. So if you move close to them, mentors would help you to get to your destination faster. Now, we want to talk about types of mentoring. There are different types depending on what you are using as your basis for classification. If you are looking at focus, you could have two types: professional mentoring, which is focused on career growth and leadership, or you could have personal mentoring. Here you are interested in a particular skill, or you want to develop a particular habit, and you move closer to somebody who already is displaying that quality or has those set of skills, and you want to find out how he did it so that I can guide you to also be able to do the same. You could also have classify mentors or mentoring on the basis of structure. It could be informal mentoring or formal mentoring. Usually, informal mentoring comes from friendship, people who have shared interests, who have some things in common. It could be family members, it could be friends. And in this kind of relationship, there are usually no rigid guidelines or set time frame. The friends just interact, and one who has more experience help the other one who has less experience. But in a formal mentoring situation, there is a structured mentorship program. And this usually happens in organizations or institutions where there is a clear structure to monitor and manage the relationship between the mentor and the mentee. Mentorship could also be classified based on the configuration of participants. In this case, we are looking at either it's a one-to-one mentoring where it is one mentor supporting a single mentee. It could also be peer mentoring. This is a situation where you have peers, people who are the same, similar life stages, supporting each other's development. Another one in this category is group mentoring. This is usually suitable in a situation where you have few mentors, but you have a lot of people that need mentoring. So that single mentor guides a set of mentees at the same time. And we have the reverse mentoring. This is a flip situation where instead of the senior mentoring the junior, in this situation, the junior mentors the senior. So junior employees will pair up with senior executives, and the purpose is to share modern technological skills, innovation, or fresh perspectives. Sometimes the older executives might not be in tune with current technology. So, and the younger ones, the Gen Zs of this world, they are very quick at picking up technology and the trends. So they can also help to be able to put the senior executives in line to understand how this technology works. And sometimes they come with a fresh perspective. They are fresh, they have new ideas, and these ideas could help to bring innovation that nobody had thought of, because it's just a fresh eye that is coming to look at the situation. There's one mentoring that is not here, but it's important to mention, and I will call it distant mentoring. And this is a situation where even the mentor doesn't know he's mentoring, because it's a situation where a mentee looks at someone that is far in terms of maybe status or geographical location, but he knows this person is successful in an area that he wants to excel in. And what happens? He tries to gather enough material, maybe biographies, publications, interviews done by this target mentor. He goes through them, learns from them, understands the way this mentor thinks, and his insight that determines what he does and what he chooses not to do. And from there, he mirrors his own actions to that of the distant mentor. So this could also happen where there is a sort of distance and you couldn't move close or have a physical contact with the desired mentor. Now, how can you get a mentor? Because since we've identified that we don't want to start running the course to success by ourselves, we don't want a situation where we leave those who are experienced and we now start to navigate on our own. The question is, how do you start? There are 3 steps that I would want to highlight. One is to declare your SMART career or personal goals. When we say SMART, we're just saying that the acronym SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. That is very important, because if you do not couch your goal properly, it is difficult for you to even know those who will be able to help you to reach that goal. And even the person who would assist you will find it difficult to really understand what you want. Just for the sake of an example, at the top right there, you'll see a sample of a SMART goal. I want to lead a cross-functional project team within the next 6 months by working with my mentor to improve my delegation and strategic planning skills. This is an example of a SMART goal. It's specific. There is a time frame, 6 months, and it's achievable. It is also clear what this mentee needs. He wants to improve delegation and strategic planning skills. And how is he going to do that? He wants to lead a cross-functional team. What will be the next step? It is to identify professionals who are more experienced than you. Where do you get these professionals? Within your personal network. Former managers, former bosses, or current boss, alumni from your university, all those who have excelled in the area that you are interested in, those who have made it in that area. So these are the people you want to look for. We have some assistance in this regard. You have online platforms like LinkedIn, where you could actually check and see individuals and see their experience as well as their goals. Yes. You also have alumni networks like the IPA alumni. We have this lecture series on YouTube. You could see a lot of professionals who have been in past, who have spoken in past lectures, and you have an idea of their area of strength, their area of expertise. That can be a place to start. And when you have identified the professional of interest as your mentor, the next step is to reach out. You would introduce yourself and you explain the reason where you need the guidance. That is where your SMART goals comes in, because you will be clear as to what you are going to ask for. And of course, ask them to mentor you on that specific goal or area. If that is done, then 2 things can happen. It's possible they will say yes, and that means you've done it, you have a mentor. And if they say no, then of course you can go through the process again by searching for another person. If you have found a mentor, how can you be a good mentee? Mentorship relationship is both ways. So it's not just getting someone to lead and direct you and you are just sitting down, you're not doing anything. No. It's important to do these 3 things. You want to be honest with your mentor. You are the one that needs help. You have found someone who would assist. So don't hide anything from him or her. You don't need to hide your mistakes, your disappointments, your failures. It's someone that is ready to help you. So be honest. Where you have made mistakes, clearly state those mistakes, because part of mentorship is to help you to know what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what you can do in order to get back on track so that you can get to your intended destination. Step 2, you need to be ready to put in the required effort. For mentorship to work, it takes real effort. Trust me. You already need to schedule meetings. You need to ensure that those meetings are held. You want to follow up on the suggestions of your mentor. Your mentor, a good mentor, will give you a lot of assignments so that you can be able to work on the skill set you need to get to your destination. There will be targets, and you need to also regularly share feedback and updates so that it will help the mentor to know what will be the next step. And step 3, you need to be helpful to your mentor. Mentorship relationship could be also give and take. While it is sure that your mentor will be the major person that is giving, it's also not out of place to regularly ask, how can you be of help to him or her? If you are very supportive by asking this kind of question, your mentor might be more willing to even go the extra mile with you. In industrial engineering, we are used to some tools like the flowchart. This is an attempt to just put the last two slides in a sort of a flowchart to show the mentorship process using the mentee's perspective. So, like I said earlier on, the start point is for you to define your SMART goals. You search for a potential mentor with the desired skills and experience. If the mentor is found, then you proceed. If not, then you go back in your search and search for an alternative. If the mentor is found, then you go ahead to make the initial contacts. Has to be mentored. If they accept your request, they agree to your request, then you proceed. If not, your search for mentors continues. If the person accepts, then you set expectations. You agree on the scope, how the mentorship sessions will go, and other guidelines of mentoring. Then after that, you hold mentorship sessions as scheduled and as agreed. For every good mentorship section, there would be action plan, what you need to do in your journey to your desired goal, in your journey to your destination. So those are action plans you need to follow through. And after that, there's a decision point. Has the goal been reached? If yes, then that mentorship process stops because you have achieved the aim. If you've not reached the goal, then it moves back to holding additional mentorship sessions where your mentor could look at what went wrong, what next you could do to make progress, and that continues until you get to the desired destination. It is not only mentees that make mentorship relationship work. Mentors also have a very important role to play. And in order to build legacy, mentees also need to learn the process of becoming a good mentor, because when someone has shown you the way, it is also better and very important that you too, it's fair to also show others the way. Meaning that whether we're a mentor or we are currently undergoing mentorship as a mentee, it's important that we also are good mentors, because there would always be somebody somewhere who needs help because that person has not attained the same level of success we have attained, or does not have the same level of experience that we have, or it's even our current position is what he is aspiring towards. To be a good mentor, you must be a good listener. This is because if you do not listen to understand the mentee's background, strengths and weaknesses or motivations, you might be given the wrong suggestion or advice. So listening helps. Listening would help you to be able to give the right advice that would be easily actioned by the mentee. Set clear expectations. From the initial conversation, the initial link up, the mentor needs to be clear on the goals. He needs to align on milestones, the meeting frequency, the meeting type. Is it going to be physical or virtual? How long will the mentorship process last? It's very important for a good mentor to have this clearly defined. The third point, mentorship needs time and involvement. So a good mentor would have to give of himself or herself. Because in the process of helping people to be able to know their potential, you really need time to be with them. You need to sit with them. You need to look at the actions that they have taken and help them to critique those actions so that they can be able to understand what went wrong and what next steps they need to take. Even for the mentor, it will, by the time you get yourself involved in the mentorship process, it will help you to increase your knowledge and improve your leadership skills. Point 4, a good mentor must be a guide, not a micromanager. Rather than giving instructions, telling the mentor what to do, identifying the solutions directly yourself, and handing it over to the mentee. Research has shown that better result comes when the mentee is involved in seeking solutions or improvements. When they are engaged in such ways, they are much eager, mentees are much eager to implement those actions because they could actually see, they will walk through those improvements, so they could see that it could work. And of course, it is easier for them to come and show you the feedback that yes, this has been done and this progress has been made. A good mentor would also provide feedback. This feedback must be genuine and actionable. You need to tell the mentee what actually he has gotten wrong and what he can do about it. But it's important that since mentorship is a relationship, the way the mentor would communicate that feedback should not be harsh, but rather friendly, because this will help the mentee to absorb that feedback, to think through it, and to now move forward. We know that mentors are like the individuals holding your hand as a mentee to see that even if you fall, they can be able to raise you up. And they do that gently, doing it in a way that you can easily take those feedback. Where it is necessary, you need to offer praise. In the journey from where the mentee started from to where he desires to be, there would be stages. And in those stages, when there is an achievement, please, it is important that you offer praise. That will help to spur on the mentee to make progress subsequently. Mentorship matters because everybody benefits. Students will gain direction and confidence. They will quickly see how what they are doing at school can help them to have successful career in the future. For fresh graduates, they would gain skills and expertise, guidance that will make them employable. They will be able to make improved decisions. Their career growth is already properly planned, so it will be executed faster, and they will develop good qualities like teamwork and leadership. The departments too would benefit. It will strengthen succession planning and research continuity because experienced professors and lecturers would help less experienced ones and will help students, assist students on how to conduct research. And in the process, there is a gradual handing over of expertise, experience down the line. So there wouldn't be a vacuum when senior lecturers, professors, when they leave the stage, you have a lot of people who can be able to fill their shoes because they have been well taught, they have been given guidance on how to also be successful. And of course, the department will be appealing because when students are aware that when you come to this department, you are not on your own. You always have someone who is ready to guide you, somebody who is ready to give you support, somebody who will help you when you make mistakes, who would guide you to tell you what to do. Then it will be an impetus to, this is the kind of department that I want to be in. This is the part of the team that I would like to be part of. As industrial engineers, we have some, we have a way we look at problem solving. And one of them is to consider whatever we are dealing with as a system. A system concept is a philosophy that views an operation, it could be a factory, a supply chain, or a service organization, as an interconnected network of parts rather than isolated components. So in system concept, you look at how the inputs, the processes, and the outputs, the feedback connects together in order to achieve a desired goal, a common objective. Mentorship is a system. And in this next slide, it shows how mentorship can be depicted in the system concept, with the system concept. For every system, there is an environment. And in the mentorship system too, you have corporate culture, industry trends, technologies, remote work constraints. These are things that would affect the success or otherwise of a mentorship system. Then inside the system, you have input, processes, outputs, and feedback, as you can see here. Part of the inputs will include the skills and experience that the mentors will bring in. The mentees will come with their goals, their aspirations, and their gaps. You have resources, which will include the meeting time, the mentorship sessions, and others. For processes, you have what will eventually make the mentorship work. The matching mechanism, which is how do we pair a mentor with a mentee? Is it by software or is it a manual pairing? Then the actual knowledge transfer, which could be meetings, physical meetings, virtual meetings, or job shadowing, where the mentee simply sit beside the mentor and see how the mentor works, to be able to see how you could imitate. It's like show the person how to just do it, and the person watches, can ask questions, and can easily mirror or copy what he has seen work. What will be the output of a mentorship system? Employability and competence, expanded networks, leadership skills, higher retention rates, because many mentees would want to stay in organizations that have a working mentorship process, career advancement and promotions, because the mentees already know what to do in order to get to the next step, and knowledge is also transferred. For every system to work perfectly and to be efficient, there's a need for a feedback. So in mentorship system too, a feedback is very important. So this could be a check to look at the meeting frequencies to see whether scheduled meetings are held, and you could also have milestone reviews to see what is the stage that the mentee is supposed to be versus where the mentee is currently now. And there could also be KPIs. For example, you could track how many mentees drop out from the mentorship program, a measure of dropout rates. So this can give you a feedback to see whether the mentorship system, a formal mentorship system, works or not. And the same thing can also be adopted for informal mentorship. You can check to look at the previous sessions, what were the goals or the objectives of those sessions, the targets, and how have those targets been met and when they were met. So that can help you to look at how future meetings or mentorship sessions would go, or what could be improved upon in the mentor-mentee relationship. One of the concepts of industrial engineering is Kaizen, which is just persistent, continuous improvement. It is believed that when you have small improvements and it's consistent, it eventually leads to larger impacts. So for mentorship, the same thing applies. In the engagement between mentors and mentees, it is important that there is a system to measure the progress, to look at this interaction, to see whether the mentors are actually delivering the objectives. Are they really assisting the mentees to meet their goals? What progress are the mentees making? Even how do the mentees feel about the interactions with their mentors? This, if it is measured, can help to look at whether the mentorship process is working or not. Then feedback. It's not just about picking KPIs, for example, measuring progress. Something needs to be done about it. So once feedback is used correctly, it will help to transform errors into valuable learning opportunities. And this will drive continuous improvement. So mentorship too would benefit from continuous improvement if there are KPIs to track progress in the interactions between mentors and mentees. It is not just enough to theoretically talk about the importance of mentorship without really looking at real-life studies cases. A lot of people today who has made it in the world of technology, communications, energy, giants, professional giants, all started by having someone that we could call a mentor. And not only that, even we ourselves, if we ask everyone in this lecture to just critically think back or even look at his current situation, you would find out that there is someone somewhere who at one point in time must have influenced you in the right direction. I would like to talk here of one of my lecturers, Professor A. Yulule. He was the one that supervised my undergraduate project, and that's where the connection started. And at the time I finished my undergraduate studies and I was looking for work, I had to go to him so as he can be of assistance. Practically, I didn't use those words, but I wanted him to be my mentor, and he agreed. And I was able to learn a lot from my interactions with him. I was able to secure a work eventually as a young school leaver, and I learned something about personal effectiveness when I interacted with him. His use of calendars to block events so that he wouldn't miss any important event, and it's always coming timely to whatever assignment or engagement that he is invited to or he must be in. And also his time management, a basic one. He would have a sheet of paper, a blank one, and put all the activities that he intends to do during the day. And as these are being done, they are ticked or crossed out. And this I actually copied, and it really helped in my career. I can talk on and on, but this just to show you that mentors will help you. Some things you are not taking as very important but could lead to success, you can easily see them from the mentors. And when you copy them, you will get the right result. Notable personalities, as you see on this page, that have benefited from mentors include Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Bill Gates. Some people will tell you that some of these mentors did not have maybe they are educated, some and did not pass through, they didn't pass through a college or a university, but there's something that is common to all of them. They all had mentors. And you could see the areas of guidance, what was their goal that the mentors helped them on. Discipline, intellect, accountability, decision-making, how to build strong teams. All these are skills that you would not find in textbooks. Just for an example, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, at the time, his Facebook was having financial issues and he wanted to sell it. But when he started engaging Steve Jobs, at the end of the day, he was helped with the suggestions from Steve Jobs. He was able to sustain the pressure to reject buyout of Facebook. He was able to build a strong team. And we already know where Facebook is today. This wouldn't have happened if there was no Steve Jobs by the side of Mark. So we all need mentors. And again, these personalities that have been mentored, today, they have also mentored several individuals. So, and with this, the legacy passes on. You help others, you guide others, and as you guide others, you have received guidance, you need to also guide others. So mentorship should help. It should have a compounding effect. So we want to assist others the way we have been assisted. Sometimes mentorship will not go exactly the way it is planned because of challenges. Here, we want to highlight a few of such challenges. One major challenge that makes mentorship fail is poor communication. When the parties involved in mentorship, the mentor and the mentee, are not on the same page, do not have clear expectations, this would affect the mentorship relations. Another challenge is time. Of course, we know that before you would guide someone, it's something that requires patience and time. Rushed sessions, inconsistencies won't just cut it. It wouldn't help you to be able to track the progress of your mentee. So some mentorship relationship are being frustrated because either the mentor or the mentee could not give in the time that is needed. And another reason why mentorship could fail is because of goal misalignment. The two individuals, the mentor and the mentee, they don't have anything in common, or the goals that the mentor is looking at is different from the path that the mentee is considered desirable. This mismatch can actually create a disengagement or conflict. As engineers, we don't just talk about problem, we also focus on the solution. So what will be the solution to these challenges? Structure, accountability, and feedback. Before a mentorship engagement takes place, the ground rules, the roles, the expectations should be clearly defined. So this helps to avoid any confusion or ambiguity. And this establishes a strong foundation for the success of that mentorship relationship. It's also important that meetings are frequently held, because these are the meetings that helps to shape the mentee's thinking, to correct what has been done wrong, or to give them the mentees options on how you could be better. And of course, feedback. There's also need for continuous improvement. We've talked about Kaizen, continuous improvement. This would help the two parties, the mentor and the mentee, to look at, okay, the previous mentoring sessions, what have gone right about it, and what has gotten wrong. What are some things that could be done? What kind of follow-up actions can help the mentee to get to the desired destination? These information are important. So they will help to solve the problem of communication gap, time issues, and goal misalignments. So in effect, when expectations are defined clearly, when there are regular meetings between the mentor and the mentee, and there is honesty, the mentee is coming with honest feedback, laying it bare, and progress is tracked in the relationship between the mentor and the mentee, this will promote sustained improvement. Now, we want to look at what kind of support will be needed in industrial and production engineering departments. And by extension, this would also be applicable to other disciplines, but the focus here is on the industrial and production engineering department. We have divided the students into 4 groups for the purpose of this lecture. At the foundation level, which are the 100 and 200 level students, what are the kind of things they need to be mentored on? Adaptation strategies. They have moved from secondary school to the university. They need to adapt to the university life, and they need to develop effective study habits, which will help them to learn and to become more confident. They also need to build self-assurance in academic performance. In this day and age where you have some students feel that education is scam, mentorship can help them to be able to see the value, the true value that education brings, and how personal development now can help you to be able to achieve your career, your planned career destination. Then this group also needs early career guidance. At this point, they are doing courses and they don't know where these courses will fit in their future career paths. So mentorship can help them to see the link. What about the next group, the 300 and the 400 level? Their needs are how they can gain practical experience in the industry. So internships and projects will be helpful. So when mentors help them to gain practical experience through projects and internships, it will help them to connect the theory in class with the real world applications. They also need to be, they need to develop strong teamwork, because in the industry, you don't do things alone. So projects that will help them to collaborate will be very important. And mentors also need to help them to align their goals, so that you would not want to get to a destination and the kind of courses you are focusing on, or the kind of projects you are focusing on, is towards another destination, career destination. So mentors can help those at this level to be able to direct their energies to the area of specializations that they intended. For the final year, they need research guidance. They need to be prepared to transit from their current state, which is they have just finished, they are just about to do their final exams, and they need clear steps and planning for their career transition. They also need to translate their research into opportunities. Some people have actually come up with very interesting research programs or thesis, and this just dies there. But some of these research is also what will solve problems in organizations, but there's no one really connecting them with the organizations that needs their expertise, that would want to take their research further to solve problems in the industry. For postgraduates, they also need to be mentored. Mentorship for postgraduate students would help them in specialization, in leadership, and innovation. It will also help them to be confident, and the mentors would help to provide structured support that will enhance their research output. Mentors would also help people in this level, to build their networks, because the people you know, the kind of people you are connected with, will determine how far you can go in the corporate world. So this needs to be assisted so that they can connect with the right persons who would help to position them for future leadership roles. How does the alumni come in? The alumni really is very important in mentorship. They have studied before, so they are students, and now they are in the field. They are in the outside world, the real world where things happen. So they are in a position to give valuable insight and advice that will help these young ones who are still in school, who have just left school, to be able to navigate their paths in the industry. They are also connected, so they can help. Internship opportunities, job opportunities, alumni can assist to extend this and also give these ones. It's not just about extending these opportunities to them. They would also assist them with the skills that is needed, the attitude that is needed to be successful in those careers. Alumni can help in legacy building, because as alumni, the current alumni helps the graduating students. Those graduating students becomes alumni too, and they too would be empowered to also impact upcoming students of the department. So with that, the legacy continues to be built, and the overall effect would be national development and growth. So what is the takeaway from this lecture? Personally, it's important to consider these 3 actions as a mentee. You want to write down your personal career goals for 2027 and pinpoint skills or knowledge areas that will require guidance. Then actively search for and get yourself a mentor based on the skills or the goals that you have penned down. Then it's important for you to do your best to make your mentor's effort work. Mentors will guide, but it is for you to execute to make it happen. Of course, while you are mentoring, while you are being mentored, it's also important that you yourself take an active interest in mentoring others. So we need to set aside time to mentor others. You have peers, you have juniors who are looking up to you as examples. So these are the places to start from. Read to improve your knowledge on delivering effective mentoring and coaching, because it's also a skill. Learning how to guide people to move from where they are to where they should be. Give your support for your organization's mentorship program. Some organizations already have a formal mentorship program in place. And it's important that we connect with such. It will help to improve, also improve our knowledge in effective mentoring, and it will also help us to give back to the society, which is a very, very key thing that our country needs. Teaching others so that they can be able to take up leadership roles, so that they can be innovators. What about the departments? The departments can also do a lot. The department could set up a formal mentorship system, which will include having a structured mentorship programs, clearly identifying and defining roles to guide who participates and how the expectations can be managed. Then pairing students with mentors. The department can have a system in place that will connect students with both academic and industry mentors so that their growth can be enhanced. Feedback is important too. So the department can also organize seminars, regular mentorship seminars, to help track progress, to help increase knowledge and capacity development in mentorship, and also to celebrate achievement. Those who have been successfully mentored and those who are already making their impact based on the support they have received. So, what do we want to take away from this lecture? Mentors helps to accelerate growth, and they help us to develop leadership skills. Industrial engineering principles can assist us to be able to improve, to set up and improve a mentorship system. Mentorship brings mutual benefits. The mentee will benefit from being mentored because he would make less mistakes, he will be able to grow faster, and he will be confident. The mentor too would learn in the process and will develop leadership skills. The department will benefit too because it will be more attractive to students, as they would want a situation where they go to a place where someone would practically hold their hands, give them the necessary support, and would stay behind them until they reach their goals. So back to the initial illustration. Great engineers are not built by knowledge alone. Theoretical knowledge in schools, in the university, is very important because this is a foundation. But to become a great engineer, there is need for gaining experience and mentorship. So this illustration here shows the different benefits that mentors bring to the table, which we can tap into. The guidance today that the mentors bring is what will translate into growth tomorrow. So it is very important that we all take this mentorship as something that we must key into. We need to have mentors ourselves, and we also need to mentor others. I want to conclude with these two quotes. The renowned scientist Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants." So despite his achievements, Isaac Newton could see the importance of leaning on, depending on giants who would help him to see further. Robert Ingersoll says, "We rise by lifting others," meaning that it is not only the mentees that benefit in the mentor-mentee relationship. We ourselves would increase our knowledge. We ourselves will benefit when those we have mentored go out into the world of either academics or industry, and they are making waves. At the end of the day, the entire nation benefits. So it's very important that we take mentorship very seriously. Thank you very much for your attention.
Wow. Wow, wow. Such a powerful, powerful, powerful lecture, sir. Thank you very much. It's very rich and practical, very rich and practical, and it's also holistic. Holistic. I like the fact that it's putting across, several aspects. Thank you very much for such a wonderful lecture, sir. Engineer Ayodele Awe. Thank you so much. And right now we'll be moving to question and answer, and the likes. But just before then, we'd like to listen to the chairperson's remark. The chairperson's remark in person of Engineer Wale Adediran. Engineer Wale Adediran, please, I would like to listen to your remark on the lecture.
Wow, 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 wow. Well done, well done, well done, Engineer Ayodele. Fantastic delivery and fantastic learning for all of us. I just want to say that the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So for those of us who have been mentees and those who have been mentors, we know that all the key points that our lecturer mentioned are really critical. There has to be structure. Just to take a few points from him that I think should sync with all of us, because I know he's not just talking to mentees, he's also talking to mentors. What you can call a MOU. So somebody that wants to climb Kilimanjaro must find someone that had climbed to the summit of the mountain successfully to mentor him or her. And there has to be clear structure, so there will be accountability, as he mentioned, so that there will be discipline, so that they will not derail, and the goal will be properly aligned. And he also encouraged the department to formalize a framework. We are engineers, we work with systems. So to create the system that will provide the environment for mentorship, that will provide a pool of mentors that our mentees can fish from. And I'm so excited that he mentioned the benefits to the mentors. And I would like to emphasize one. Look, I always tell people the best retirement initiative, the best retirement investment that brings a lot of returns when you retire is to mentor others. Those that you mentor may even go beyond you. You talked about having a mentor to go far in the corporate world. It's not just the corporate, even in academia. So to reach your goal in the different fields of endeavor, you need mentors. And for the mentors, the great benefit for them is when they are off the stage, they will still be relevant because their proteins will be there making waves and going probably further than they have gone. And I can tell you that I'm a young person, but I'm a retiree of 3 years experience, and I'm benefiting a lot from the investments I've made in mentorship. So Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to encourage our HOD, and I think I will discuss with the Dean as well. I strongly believe the alumni body can play a huge role for our students and even for some of our young lecturers in this space. We can help lift others, and we too will be lifted. Thank you very much, Engineer, our dear speaker, Engineer Ware. Well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Over to you, our moderator.
Thank you very much, sir, Engineer Wale. Thank you for that. Also, earlier on, we ought to have the guest of honors Guswe message. That's in person of Professor Bio Olugasa, but I guess it was not available then. I don't think we can have it now. Sir, I would love to have your goodwill message. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and thank you very much, the chairman. Thank you very much, Engineer Wale Adediran. Thank you very much, the head of department and host, Professor Victor Oladokun. And indeed, I must say a big thank you to the presenter, Engineer Ayodele Awe. This is exemplary. The choice of the topic and the importance in higher education, especially in developing countries like Nigeria, can never be overemphasized. And you have done a great justice to that. It's a network. We hold each other's hand. It's a form of connectivity. And I will simply make my goodwill message a form of commendation to the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering. Your position in the institution, in all of higher education, is second to none in skill building, in workplace connectivity to deliver both goods and services. And that's what you have done in this presentation. And my own take home will be that, one, for us in our sector of the industry in animal health and production, which is a bedrock of national prosperity, because from nature, from ecosystem, we need to harvest the resources there. Instead of being disconnected and each person to himself, mentorship will help us a great deal. And I'm so impressed with your choice of word, engineering the growth, not just making it peasant, small. So, and I'm glad you have recorded this. And I'm grateful for the illustration the way they are. Our professional training centers in the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine will surely, I will love to deploy this material to our regular interactive session among the consultants and among the students. And I'm sure this will, and I'll collaborate with Industrial and Production Engineering at that. So let me assure you that this is an awesome benefit. Education becomes complete and valuable when it goes beyond the talk, but to the performance. And thank you for making us to do this. I want to see a country where we convert the resources given to us into commodities. And that's what industrial and production engineering is. Beyond education to the performance. I want to say, may God bless you, industrial and production engineering department. May God bless your academic staff. May God bless the University of Ibadan, all of our alumni and your alumni association. And here, ably represented by Engineer Ayodele Awe. May God bless all of the alumni association of the University of Ibadan. We are one network of people that have been opportune to pass through the walls of that institution and worldwide to convert the situation at home into a flourishing domain. It's a network. I love the way Engineer Adediran put it. It's a connectivity. It's an investment for one's own retirement. On that note, permit me to say I'm exceedingly grateful for being given the opportunity to come in here to be a guest. And I pray that the Lord will bless you greatly. Thank you. It's been a very excellent presentation. I'm very glad. Bye for now. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much, our Dean, the Dean of Veterinary Medicine. Thank you so much for the goodwill message. God bless you, sir. Thank you. So right now, the questions, we have question from the lecturer, question for our amiable guest lecturer. Do we have any question? Please drop them in the chat box. Okay. Yes, please drop them in the chat box. While we wait for that, so I'd like to ask a question. I'd like to ask what the role of intentionality is in choosing a mentor, because I've come to discover that if you don't choose a mentor, you'll be mentored anyway. You'll be mentored by, what's around, and then that's what is happening to many of the young ones today. And then there's a kind of mentorship that is being pushed by the media, by social media, and then it's really it's challenging a lot of things, and then it's challenging the balance of things. So I just want to ask, what is the role of intentionality in choosing your mentor, choosing the mentor? Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Claudius, for that, for the question. I believe you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. So it's important to be intentional. Let's consider this situation. You want someone to be your friend. For that friendship to last, you must first consider who has the same interests such as you have, who has the same background that you have. Do you have common goals? Do you both of you enjoy the same set of things? Do you have similar thinking, thought process? Those things help in selecting a friend so that relationship will be strong. The same thing with mentorship. Now, if you allow someone to assign a mentor to you, there is the probability that all these checks wouldn't be done. So what now happens is instead of two like minds, you are having two unlike minds coming together. And that definitely would mean disaster, because it could even be in terms of the way you feel you should be addressed, or the way you feel feedback should be shared with you might not be the style of your mentor. And just because of, I just don't like the way this person talks, can be the showstopper. So it's important to be intentional, to look for one who has the qualities you are interested in and who shares similar interests with you. Such a person, you will be comfortable to open up to such a person. You will be comfortable to humble enough to receive that person's feedback and to apply it. So it's important to be intentional when it comes to searching for a mentor if you want to get results.
Thank you very much, sir, for that. Really grateful. I'd like to welcome comments from our dear Professor Ayodeji Oluleye. Sir, would like to welcome comments from you on the lecture, sir.
Good evening, everybody. And it's a pleasure to listen to Ayodele and see his face once again.
Yes,
I'm happy, I'm proud of you. I heard what you said. I remember I used to give you assignments just to let you hone your skills in problem solving, and you did quite very well. And you were able to then get a good job, which has been a stepping stone to today. But let me say something. I also commend you because you came to me and then I accepted that you could work with me, and you worked on many personal things. I remember one of the projects I gave to you was to determine how to even buy credit on the phone. And you developed a model that optimized, that is, don't listen to these telcos, do your analysis and get the best bet of what you should buy and how regularly you should buy, just to optimize how much you get for how much data. And at that time, it looked a far-flung example, but I'm sure you've leveraged that today. But what I want to say for both mentors, mentees, is that just like you say, entrepreneurship is important. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. The same thing with mentorship. Some people don't want to be mentored. And so, just like you said, they are forcefully mentored by people who may not be appropriate for them, and for which career guidance becomes a problem. And of course, if you have that, career progression also becomes a problem. So, well, congratulations for a well-developed, well-delivered lecture. And I hope everybody will benefit from this, more so the students who are here, and also the younger lecturers who are up and coming, and even those who are up there. It's important to mentor because it's an investment, and it's not monetary. The joy you get out of seeing somebody who is doing what you did not or could not or were not able to do is invaluable. So thank you, Ayo. And thank you, I must say, to the HOD who has led the department very, very well, and all other my colleagues, all other lecturers, the MC for today, I think Claudius, if I see well. And I must also thank the special guests of honor, the guest of honor, and our dear president of the alumni. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thanks all.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, my mentor.
Thank you, sir, and happy birthday and happy retirement in advance, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. Yes, sir. There is a question here, sir, Engineer Aware, and this person is asking that is it recommendable to have multiple mentors at a time, learning multiple or even similar skills from multiple mentors at a time? That's the question.
Well, it would make sense if you are able to manage multiple vendors, or mentors rather, and if it is different goals that these mentors are assisting you with. But if it is the same skill and you are talking to you're interacting with different mentors, that might be a little bit tricky, because you could have different approaches, and in the process of trying to implement, it could be confusing. So I would personally suggest multiple mentors would be a yes if it's different objectives or different skills that they are helping you with, and you have the capacity to follow through on their suggestions. Otherwise, what will have been the easiest is one goal at a time and one mentor at a time. But it all depends on the individual.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. And I believe that that should answer the question of having multiple mentors, for multiple areas of one's life too. In your spiritual life, there's a mentor; for career, there's a mentor; for parenting and the likes. Thank you very much, sir, for that. Thank you so much. I would like to I'd like to call on the guest lecturer to give his closing remark, his final words before we wrap it all up. Engineer Awesa.
So once again, thanks very much for the opportunity. to deliver this guest lecture, and it's a privilege, really, to have this opportunity to speak before my big bosses, my mentors, my ogas at the top. Really, it's very nice connecting on a monthly basis with the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering. Well, I would just urge that we take a look at the recommendations in this lecture and see if what we can do to support the call for mentorship. So this could be giving support if the department should start a formal mentorship program, or could also mean in our own little way, we want to see those whom we can impact so that we can all grow together. So I do appreciate the audience you have granted me, and I will continue to see what I can do to support the growth and development of my dear department, Industrial and Production Engineering. Once again, thanks for your attention and for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. Okay, there are no more questions, no other questions. So, for every meaningful gathering, there has to be gratitude. It deserves gratitude. So to formally appreciate everyone who has made today's program a success, may I respectfully invite our mentor, my mentor, Dr. A. Kolawole, to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Kolawole, sir, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Again, I want to greet everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on the globe. We want to thank everyone again for making this 46th edition of our Alumni Lecture Series another success. I want to thank everyone for sparing your time, especially our special guest of honor, Dr. Ofole. On the UI platform here, I could see her enthusiasm in broadcasting this program since the flyer came out. She has been throwing it here and there. Thank you, Ma, for sparing your time and having the interest to be part of this program. We want to say thank you, and we assure you that by God's great department, we continue to play her role in ensuring the alumni relationship that you are in charge continue to work well. We want to thank our colleague engineer Wale Adediran, who has shared today's occasion. Thank you for sparing your time. We also recognize the work you are doing in the faculty alumni group. They have been a tremendous task, and you have been living up to the situation for ensuring that the larger family is also sustained. The IPEA is a subset of that large family. Thank you for being there, and thank you for coming to be with us today. We appreciate you greatly. I want to thank Professor Lugasa, the Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. Since about late 90s, he has been part of our department, one way or the other. I remember he came to, the HOD was sharing the other day that he came to do part of our course. And I remember that one of our courses, Human Factors Engineering, that I have a pleasure of teaching that time. He came to attend the class. I was wondering, somebody in veterinary medicine, what was he coming to do in industrial engineering? But he partook in it, and I'm sure he's still making use of one or two of our teams up to today. But he has been a very good friend of our department. He patronized our garment lab. He has come there several times. There's nothing we do in the industrial engineering that is not part of us. I want to thank you, sir, for always being the helpful. We always be helpful to our departments. We appreciate you greatly. I pray that you continue to prosper in your assignment as the Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. I want to thank our guest lecturer for today, Engineer Adediawe. You have not only taught, but you have taught from experience. At least you mentioned that you were mentored. So it's not a theoretical thing that you taught. It's a thing you have gone through. And I believe you're also mentoring other people. You have already opened your door that when we have students from the department that we can connect to that. So thank you for giving your time for this lecture. You have already made me a good ambassador of this department since you are at Nestle Food. Thank you. God bless you. Your wealth of experience will continue to grow. To everyone who has been here, we will not be able to mention people's name individually. We want to thank our senior colleague in the department, Prof, who had just spoken, for being the mentor, where he has mentored a lot of people, many of us. Thank you, sir. And all other guests who are here tonight that I may not be able to see all. I want to say thank you for sparing your time. We thank our students. Some of them have come here. I think this is also a challenge to them. As you said, if you refuse to be mentored, indirectly, something else will mentor you, and you may find yourself in the wrong place. And that's the challenge that we want to throw to our students who are here tonight. Please, if you refuse to come for a program like this, a teaching like this, in one way or the other, you always learn one thing or the other that can move you forward. When you listen to people, the senior colleagues, more experienced people on the field, it will be to your benefit. But if you are not here, you'll be somewhere else. That's just the truth. So you are not mentored by the real people, quote and unquote, somebody else. Or maybe all this internet, all these things that are dumped on the internet will be your mentor, and that will not be very good. So a class like this, a lecture like this has come up to give us a good platform to learn one or two things. So let's keep on encouraging ourselves to be available to things that will be of benefit to us. So I want to thank our head of department too. As I've been said, he has been very being a good coordinator of things. We are always rub mind together to ensure that this program continues. And he has been a very backbone on it. I want to thank all the IP engagement team, Engineer Padare, the moderator of today, all our colleagues in departments, who have been very helpful, who work day and night to ensure that this program continues. I want to thank our alumni, wherever they are, who always accede to our call, whenever we call on any one of them. So I want to say thank you. God bless every one of us as we look forward to another time, about this time next month, by the grace of God. May God be with every one of us in our various endeavors. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Kolawole. Once again, want to appreciate everyone. Sorry for taking a little of your time. It's our custom to keep to the time, and I'm very sure that we got value for our time. Thank you so much. So by this time next month, like Dr. Kolawole has said, we'll be having another lecture, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be quite enlightening also, and it's going to be Friday, August 14th, and that's going to be the 47th alumni lecture. We'll be having Engineer Omolara Ibikunle FNSC. The title is Beyond Technical Skills, Adapting, Leading, and Thriving in a Changing Engineering Career. It's going to be profound, and we hope to see you there. Good to see you. So thank you everyone for tonight. Thank you, my lecturer, my mentor. Thank you, Engineer Awe. Thank you for the lecture once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the HOD, my mentor, sir, Professor Victor Ladoku. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much to all my lecturers. God bless you. Thank you to the guest of honor, the special guest of honor, and everyone. God bless you. Please have a wonderful night's rest everywhere. And if you're in the afternoon, a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful morning to you. Thank you very much. See you next month. God's grace.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bless you all.
Thank